Better late than never. Welcome.
It's my favorite.
Fucking Anton Lander.
I really like the bag milk shower.
Bag milk. This is Cesus. 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 Cesus.
Tyler, your rem check is so fucking sexy.
Cesus.
Fucking Anton Lander.
It's my favorite.
Better late than never.
It is so fucking sexy.
All right, boys. Episode 20, Better Late Than Never. We're going to do a take 2 on this one.
A day after.
Well, there was a lost episode. Maybe.
Well, it's not lost. We have full access
In
to
the
it.
digital crypts.
Yeah.
Allegedly lost episode.
Purposely lost episode.
Better Late Than Never, episode 20. Jay, Bag Milk, and Tyler sitting in our hotel room in LA. Of course, we got to start off by thanking the audio department. Making this all possible. Head on down to see them at 6916 82nd Ave Northwest, theaudiodepartment.ca. Recording studio. Maybe you can record your own podcast there, Tyler.
This is a joke I made on the lost episode, but take your biggest enemy and go record a diss track about them.
I think that's the move.
You didn't say that in the lost episode, did you?
Yeah, I absolutely did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you did. That was a good joke. You'll never hear it. But
Go
you
shred a guitar or two.
Yeah, we also learned that you had never played an instrument before.
Never played an instrument in my life.
Any interest?
Nah, I'm too busy.
Not even the recorder.
Well, like obviously, yeah, like the stuff you do like in school, like I did that, but I've never like taken guitar lessons.
How were you as a recordist or recordist?
A recordist, yeah. I was good, I think.
Hot cross buns was your nailed it probably.
Yeah.
I was a big Oda Joy guy.
Oh, Oda Joy's a classic.
I can play that on almost any instrument you put in front of me.
Amen. I love tinkering with instruments, and that's why I think I made to go down to the audio department, record a podcast, play around with all the equipment. It's what you do. It's what you do. So we're leading up to game. It's Sunday. It's 4 o'clock. Or no, I guess it's 3 o'clock Pacific time. We got a few hours till puck drop.
Yeah.
Oilers absolutely dominated game 3.
Shit kicking is the word or the phrase I would use.
Yeah, just a good old fashioned beatdown.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good old fashioned beatdown. It was exactly what we needed as fans coming down to Los Angeles. If you're going somewhere, can you grab my beer too? Excellent. So we're doing a little pregame here ahead of game 4. We're sitting in a hotel room, getting ready, getting prepped. We have yet to put the jerseys on. We've got another jersey story we want to tell.
Oh, yeah.
That was from the Angels game last night, but we'll get there. Yesterday was a day off for the Oilers, Saturday. So we got a little bit of work done in the morning, made our way out to Venice. Super cool. I had never been there before. I was really excited to go. It was just neat. It was cool. It's a vibe down there. There's plenty of cool shops. There's plenty of cool people watching. There's just plenty of color in general.
Energy.
We went to that cool street for lunch.
Abbott and Kenny. Check it out anytime you're in Venice. I highly recommend it.
Tyler and I also learned that the existence of $500 plus candles.
That's wild, man. Like some of those stores you go into, like we went into the one that you really wanted to go into, Jay. And I was like, oh, this stuff's cool. And I like your bag of milk. I'm like, how much do you think a hoodie is? And
I was pretty close.
we were close. It's nice stuff.
Really nice stuff.
It's not cheap. I love the brand though.
I'm more of a Nation Gear guy.
Yeah, big Nation Gear guy.
Well, the other one I like is called Aviator Nation. So it fits. It's got the
fits the
Nation
brand.
connection.
We had our bottle of Brose. I had guacamole for the first time.
That
was
mind blowing.
So we were sitting there having lunch, just waiting for the tacos, which were delicious. Get a little chips and guac, come up to the table. Tyler dives in and he goes, wow, this is really good stuff. I'm going to text my lovely girlfriend and tell her that I've tried guacamole. And both Jay and I were just like, what?
Whatever.
Tyler Tries. We didn't know. We walked into an episode of Tyler Tries.
We had no idea. Nor did we have any idea that Tyler loves waves as much as he does. Very exciting stuff.
That's just so cool. I could sit there all day and watch like the crashing against the rocks and the sand was warm and like,
I agree.
All of it. It's so good. Being by the ocean, having guacamole with my friends, drinking rosé. Doesn't get any better than that, I tell you.
Well, it's what's funny because yes, everyone will agree with what you just said. going and watching the waves and being in the sand and, you know, being on the beach. You know, everyone loves that.
Very relaxing.
But for you, which is interesting, is that like you celebrate the waves like a sports fan.
Yeah, you were cheering for them.
You're like, whoa, yeah, look at that. Let's go. That's what was interesting to me.
What was also interesting is that the first he gave a good whoop for a wave hitting the rocks. And I asked Tyler, I was like, have you ever seen the ocean before? And he's like, yeah, I have. I was like, okay. 2 seconds later, literally 2 seconds later, Jay's just like, has Tyler seen the ocean before?
I was easily excited.
It's great. It's cool. It's good because it adds good energy and I love it, but it's just funny. And we have to obviously discuss the observation we made.
We also, you know what is another weird observation is the skywriters. I've never seen a skywriter in action before.
That was cool.
Lady Gaga was doing some promo work outside of Venice Beach and just the skywriters with planes very synchronized.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Like, it was very hypnotizing.
Oh my God. I could just watch skywriting all day. And I just realized, like, as I unpack that even more, that is such an on-brand advertisement. So if you're an ad geek, one time with knocking out of the park is for Lady Gaga's song for Top Gun. Is what was being promoted.
Yep.
Being shot in the sky by skywriters. But it was so cool.
And the Lady Gaga writing had like the little Top Gun. That makes so much fucking sense now.
I know, but it looked so good. That's the thing. It's amazing how good it looked.
It looked great.
Yeah.
And the skill also impressive. If I had a problem though with our trip down to Venice Beach, it's just that we didn't get to spend enough time. And the reason was we did a lot of time in a car yesterday.
We did, but it didn't really feel like it, but it ate up the day kind of thing, right?
It eats up. Yesterday we spent 4 hours in a car.
That's wild.
So it's 4 hours of our day. Plus we were going to the Angels game. We did go to the Angels game and we thought it started at 7 and it started at 6.
I'm a little sad we didn't spend more time by the beach.
Yeah. Well, that was the plan. After the Brose, we're going to go down to the beach.
Yeah. We're going to get a little sun. Although this is very embarrassing for me because I tan beautifully. We were outside for about 6.5 minutes and my shoulders are roasted today.
I've got a rosy nose and some rosy shoulders and I'm normally like a level 10 tanner. So,
well, you've got the nice olive skin generally.
I do. Wow. Jay, learn to talk. It's my proud Métis heritage.
Yeah. My proud French heritage allows me to tan very well, but not yesterday. I got to get that base in, that first base tan though. So then we make our way back from Venice Beach. We come back to the hotel. We collect Lisa and Jenna from Play 107. We make our way out to the Angels game, which was another hour in a car.
Yeah. That car ride flew by for a handful of reasons.
It was fun. I was excited.
Well, it's because it was a private car and we were able to drink in it. Yeah. So we can have some drinks, laughs. We're just sitting there. You weren't like we weren't bored. We're just having fun.
Yeah, we were. We were just having a good time. Bagged Milk's first ever MLB game.
It was super cool. I was super excited about it once we kind of figured out that was going to be the plan, that we were going to see a baseball game. What was not so fun though, the three of us as a team put in a bet builder parlay on that game. We thought we were going to win together. We were going to cheer together. Unfortunately,
to use a baseball reference, it was a swing and a miss.
It was a big swing and a miss. What was not a swing and a miss though was what happened during the game. We show up with a plan that we were all going to get Ohtani jerseys because the guy is an absolute unit.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know who Shohei Ohtani is, he is the Connor McDavid of baseball and he's the Justin Bieber of Japan.
So Tyler, give me a little bit of context on Shohei Ohtani because he hits bombs.
Yeah.
He also plays out in the field at times.
Yeah, he'll play right field once in a while.
And he pitches every fifth day.
Yeah, so it's just insane what this guy does.
Has this ever been done before?
Babe Ruth in
the 30s. So we're talking Shohei Ohtani is a once in a 100 year kind of player where he goes on the mound and this guy's hitting triple digits on the mound throwing. He's throwing 100 miles an hour sometimes. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. And then when he's not pitching, he just casually goes DHs and he'll probably hit 40 bombs a year, which is like the equivalent of being a 40 goal scorer in the NHL. Like he's in the elite.
But he's also your goalie.
Well, right. That's like, but you can't even make the comparison. It would be like if the Oilers were like, hey, all right, Mike Smith, you start every second game and the other game you play forward because you're probably going to score us like 30 goals in the 40 games you play. Like that's what the equivalent is. It's nuts.
And he's just an absolute specimen.
He is. Like, he's massive. He's like 6'4". Like, the dude is just jacked.
Another thing that was interesting, though, is just kind of looking around the crowd. You could tell how many Japanese fans were there clearly to see him.
We had the couple sitting in front of us who like had their camera out whenever, like, and like the full on like Canon, not just your phone camera. Like, they had a legitimate camera.
They meant business.
And like every time Ohtani was up, they're like zooming in, getting pictures of Ohtani. Like, they go nuts for Shohei out there.
But you were telling me, though, that there's reporters from Japan that are over here reporting only on him. The Angels, whatever happens with the Angels is almost secondary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like newspapers in Japan or like media outlets in Japan have reporters who live in LA just to cover Shohei Ohtani.
That was wild.
It's crazy.
So then what happened? We decided we needed to get jerseys. We decided we were going to be the Ohtani boys. We were honorary Angels fans. And why not support one of the best baseball players of all time?
And we all went different flavors too. So you went with the nice red away
Crisp.
Angels
Nice.
jersey. Nice. I went with the white one with his name written in Japanese on the back.
So
Super cool.
look on Tyler's and the real life Instagram, I believe. Those pictures are on there of the Ohtani boys. Jay's jersey, however, is a next level jersey. And the acquisition of said jersey took planning. It took skill. It took a team effort. So let's walk through it.
Some deception.
A little, yeah.
Some now you see me, now you don't.
Yep. So we walk into the team store. I'm a medium. Tyler's a medium. So we were pretty good. Jay there wasn't any options for Jay except one. They had one jersey for him, but it was on a mannequin. So we decide we're going to get that jersey. So Jay's standing there, unbuttons slowly.
The first two buttons were kind of tough.
We're running plays. Like,
I actually wanted to try to strip it off as quick as possible. Those first two buttons I was having troubles with.
And so I decided, well, we're like, Bag Milk's over on one area buying his jersey. I'm over by the hat rack, like trying on different hats, making sure like, no one's paying too much attention to anyone. We're not crowding up in one spot.
And then an employee comes over to Jay and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, I'm going to take this jersey off the mannequin is what I'm doing." He's like, "Oh, what?" So, "Well, I'm going to buy it." So, "Oh, okay, no problem."
That guy gave us the green light. He didn't have the authority to. Because I actually asked earlier on, I'm like, can I buy that jersey? Oh, well, you'll have to talk to a manager. And I'm like, screw that. Okay, so it means you probably could have a long conversation, maybe get it. So that to me was just like, okay, this is the beginning of the heist plan.
This was our Ocean 11 moment.
This is our Ocean 11 moment. That's the funny thing because I was starting to undo it, and I had my boy that was guarding the lineup that called me out. He was the only one to see the full thing in action. But like staff were walking around me the whole time, but they weren't even looking at what I was doing. But then there was one that was getting close, and Tyler picked up on her. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go look at hats and like draw her over there." And then so he did. So that gave me the time and space I needed because I had trouble with the first two buttons. The next like 5 buttons, no problem. But then when I was stripping it off, it was getting caught on Shohei's mannequin hand.
Mm-hmm. And so keep in mind, this is not just like a random mannequin. No. They have mannequins that look like Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, it looks like Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
So fantastic. I strip off the shirt off his shirt. I get it off, and he's got a Superman shirt underneath on. Which he is Superman. So anyways, then take it. And then the guy's like, "Did you just take that off of Shohei?" I'm like, "Yep, but I'm buying it."
Refers to the mannequin like he's actually the person.
Shohei is the boss.
Another interesting thing is the jersey is now removed. It is in Jay's possession. Yeah. He is in line. He's waiting to buy it. A blank Shohei Ohtani mannequin does not fly in the store.
Oh my God. Immediately 6 staff are surrounding the mannequin like, what just happened? What are we going to do? We need to get a shirt on Ohtani.
And then as a side plot to all of this going on, there's a group of Oilers fans also in the team store that recognize Tyler.
Yeah, so they're like, "Oh, you're Amtrak." Blah, blah. So I'm talking with them, all that. They're like, "Oh, we saw you at the game." And then they go, "Is Bagged Milk even a real person?" I was like, "What?" And the one guy was like, "Is it ironic?" I was like, "What? No, he doesn't work here." And he goes, "Or is it just like you pretending to be someone else?"
Which is interesting.
Because me and you do a podcast together 5 days a week now.
Yeah.
So how would that even work,
You're
right?
a hell of a voice actor.
Doesn't even make sense. Like, think of this conversation right now.
Yeah.
Like, come on. So they were like, I was like, no, like Bagged Milk's a real person. They're like, is he here? And I was like, no, he's not here. Because obviously I don't want to blow your cover.
Sure.
And then we get into the line to go pay. Bagged Milk is somewhat near the front.
Yep.
About 5 people behind him is this group of guys. And then about 5 people behind them is Jay.
I'm also decked out in nation gear, by the way.
Yeah.
It's the worst kept secret. God,
It is. And these guys look at Jay and go, are you Bagged Milk?
And
Jay,
because I looked at him like, you are. And I'm like, oh, God.
and you were like, yep, I am.
And they're
like,
drawing
yeah.
heat on me because I'm trying to pull off this caper.
Yeah.
And it was just so funny to see these guys who'd had a few. They're beauties, though.
Oh,
they'd
nice
had a
guys.
few. They're a little drunk. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're Bagged Milk. We know it. And the real Bagged Milk is like right in front of them.
Right there. Because it was like a winding queue, right? So I'm standing beside them at this point, holding my Ohtani jersey, wearing all nation gear, and they're yelling at Tyler and Jay, and I'm just keeping quiet watching.
So funny.
It's the best.
Oh, that's so good. I like the photos we took. The Ohtani boys had a good time last night.
The Ohtani boys had a really good time outside of the bet. The jerseys look sharp.
Yeah.
The only thing that, Tyler, I got to admit, you took a bunch of heat for the Bud Light sodas.
Yeah, I did. People, you guys are not big Bud Light soda fans. I love them.
Man.
I'd die for them.
I had 2 liters of cola on Friday night, and I think that was partly to blame for my start yesterday.
It's game 3, Tyler finds them. He's excited. The cans are ginormous. They're literally a liter of cola, and cola is the flavor, a liter of cola of Bud Light hard soda. And we drink it. I'm like, this is actually pretty good. But then you like get it deeper into the liter of cola and you're like, oh my God, I am getting sick of this thing.
I had 2 of them and it was too much. And I'm so glad. Did we talk about on Real Life how I wanted to buy 6?
Yeah. We talked about that in real life.
Yeah, that would have been a horrible idea.
But anyways, I eventually found the mix pack with all the flavors and I bought them. And yeah, people didn't like them.
Yeah, we tried, but they're just I know like they're sweet, but they're sweet with fake sugar, not like real sugar.
Yeah.
Well, we found out last night during the Lost episode, yellow number 5, probably not the best for you. That's the last.
Oh yeah, those are the ingredients on there.
Yeah.
Yellow number 5 will kill you.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're just. Tyler likes them. He's got a sweet tooth. Like he's always got a bag of Sour Patch Kids or Mike and Ike's around him. So it makes sense that he would like it. But they are just a chemical cocktail.
I think if they were like Red Bull sized cans, that would be more appropriate.
Yeah, like a Red Bull size can if they were like 8%, right? Where like bang, like you're hitting them and it's like, whoo. That'd be good living. Anyways.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the Oilers tonight. We got to do it. I want to shout out our friends at Trilogy Oilfield Rentals. You have to do it. If you got a project coming up, they've got the equipment you need to get it done. What are you laughing at?
I just keep having flashbacks. Like I'm remembering more moments from the Lost episode.
Oh, God.
Of like the ad reads and shit. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's
we were
horrible.
so drunk and none of us were willing to admit that we were drunk when we did the fake episode or the Lost episode. And then we listened back to it today and we were like, probably not.
I felt, but the thing is though, like, just like I said, because we just had like a long day of just like sipping, right?
Yeah. It wasn't like a party day. It was just it was a shift though.
It was a shift. So like I felt totally fine. And I'm like, yeah, we're like, let's do a podcast. I'm like, sure. We're going to be great.
So then I think
we were literally in the same spots we are now as well, which is spooky.
I think the smartest thing that we did though was deciding not to post it last night when we wrapped.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, let's do an audit on this baby tomorrow to make sure that everything's, on the rails.
Yeah. Brilliant veteran move.
Yeah.
It was a little sloppy. So we're getting ready to go out there. Tyler's going to do the pregame show. Tyler and Jay are going to do the pregame show. I'm writing the GDB. And I was like, Tyler, pop it on to see what we got here, if we're going to post it or not. And 2 seconds into it, I was like, we can't post this.
You know what would be kind of funny though, is if you just released it like 60 seconds at a time at the end of like the next 20, or we went 40.
Yeah, like a lot. Just so then people can stitch it together over the next 100 episodes.
You should go back through it and pick out some like good clips and just like drop them into drop them into real life.
I wouldn't stop talking about hot dogs, and then I was mad at you guys for not eating 2 hot dogs.
Yeah, because I got a pretzel. It was the worst pretzel of all time.
Well, the pretzel was okay, but
cheese
cheese sauce, whoever, I said this last night on the Lost episode, now I remember it, whoever made the recipe for that cheese sauce needs to go to prison for a very long time.
It was so bad.
So
It was
bad.
offensive to soft pretzels, to be honest. But then Jay last night on the Lost episode was really giving us the business because the move was 2 hot dogs and a beer. I did get a hot dog and a beer, but I also wanted a pretzel.
How good was the dog though?
Yeah, it was great.
Having a hot dog at a ball game, there's nothing better. It's like I barely eat hot dogs now, but like if you're at a ballpark, you have to have one because it just hits different.
They were delicious, and that ballpark was beautiful too.
Oh, it's a great park.
The fountain, the layout's great. It's awesome.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
That was cool. We sat in the outfield for a little bit. I've never sat in the outfield before. That's a great perspective.
Yeah, like sometimes people always get obsessed with like, oh, got to be close to the field, got to be close to the field. But like from a nerdy baseball perspective, sitting, and we weren't quite here for the game for LA, but when I go to Toronto, I love trying to mix in a game dead center or as close to center as you can get in the outfield. I just feel like you can see the game so well. But then when we moved down by the dugout, that was good.
Yeah, like we were literally on the field.
I was basically the first base coach.
Yeah. I called my mom today to wish her happy Mother's Day, as any son would do. And my dad was there and he was like, oh, hey, how was the baseball game? And I was like, oh, it was good. He goes, how much were tickets? And I was like, oh, we paid cause we sat again in the outfield, like $30 Canadian in total. And he goes, cause I sent him a picture when we moved down and I was like, we upgraded. And he was like, oh, and how much to upgrade? Like $50?
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, that's how much it was to upgrade our seats, Dad.
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
The
yeah.
Ohtani boys were on a mission.
Yeah.
We wanted to get a good look at this guy.
Ohtani boys were not
So-
being denied. I'll tell you that much.
Well, except for the one moment when we were denied, when after the game they did fireworks. Very cool.
Love it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, how cool would it be if we could
Oh.
get on the field for a picture? And there were
That's
fans.
so great.
There were fans going onto the field. I didn't know how.
Yeah.
So we walked down to this little entrance where you can go onto the field. And there's 2 security guards. And I initially just tried to like walk past him and he was like, whoa. And I was like, oh no, we're with that guy. And I just pointed to a random dude
Well,
wearing
'cause
an
it worked
Angels
for us
jersey.
the night before.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, we're with that guy. And the security guy looks at me and goes, no, you're not. And I was like, all right, see ya. And we just fucking kept moving on.
But then we did our photo shoot. It was great.
Yeah.
Again, check out the pictures. Excellent. 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 It was a great time. Great night. Came back here, crushed some more street ramen.
Oh,
You guys
man.
are loving
and
this.
it was a different type this time in terms of the brand of
Well,
noodle.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this ramen.
Like, what is that? So like, that's like cup of soup or cup of noodle or
Yeah, but like
cup
the
of,
bowl one. The
yeah, the
version.
bowl one. Yeah.
So they take the bowl one off the rack
Yes.
and then they upgrade it with vibes, meats, and spices.
Yes.
And Jay and I can't get enough of them.
I'm going to have another one tonight.
I guarantee I'm going to have another one tonight. But the
All right.
interesting thing about it is the next morning, not enjoyable to have the ramen remains
Oh, it stinks.
wafting through the room. Unfortunately for Tyler, his head is right where the
best
ramen
part-
is
the best
consumed.
part
It
is
was so
right
disgusting.
beside
Waking up in the
Tyler's
morning and being like, oh, what's that smell? Every time the AC kicked on, it was like, oh, boy, that is day old ramen.
Well,
But it's good.
it's so good. It's good for the soul.
It is good for the soul. It's a good nightcap.
And I guarantee I'm going to do it again today. I love street food here. I loved my shrimp tacos yesterday. What are you doing over there, Tyler? What are you getting? A little coffee? Yeah, he's getting prepped. That's a weird thing about today is I have not had a coffee outside of this really mediocre, expected mediocre hotel coffee.
Which is just colored water.
So then today we wake up, getting ready, knock out some work. Boys went and did the pregame.
Tyler just gagged after having a
Tyler's
sip
having
of
a hard
our
time.
hotel coffee.
Tyler's
But
having a
then
hard
he
time.
elected to pour more in.
Yep, you got to. Tyler's no quitter.
Literally sucks ass. Sucks so hard.
It's so bad.
I'm spilling everywhere.
But then we went and watched F1, Jay and I. It
That was nice.
was nice.
That was nice. It was a bit of a boring race, but it was also exciting because
We had a couple of shekels around.
well, exactly. Put some money on it, it makes a boring race entertaining. But having Max finish first, starting in P3, that's nice.
That's a plus 200 win.
Plus 200,
Take
baby.
those all day.
Free money. And
Since
shout
this-
out George Russell.
And shout out George Russell. I know we talked about this on Real Life yesterday, but this is my podcast, so I want to brag a little bit. Tyler, I've entered 3 DraftKings contests and I've won money in all 3 of them,
That's wild.
including the first one I did where I won $200 US by finishing 3rd overall out of 1,200 people or something.
Yep.
Excellent. Today, doubled up my money on my F1 DraftKings. Got another one going tonight. Looking forward to it. Very Oilers heavy though.
Well, it's got to be.
Yeah, I know. Like
It's
there's a
just
part
so
of me-
good. It's so good. Like, especially because like it just makes that game that much better.
So
good.
Let's talk about the game. Crypto.com Arena. This is my first time being there. Tyler, have you been, Jay?
Yep.
It's a cool barn.
It's all right.
And my favorite thing that we did was go down. We went in mega early because while LA Live itself is cool and set up, there wasn't really the vibe that we were looking for ahead of game 3.
It's not like it's amazing to say like so they mimicked LA Live for Ice District, right?
Yeah.
And what we do in that plaza before a playoff game is awesome.
Yeah.
It's just a big
'Cause we went
party
before game
band.
2.
Yeah. Big party bands. Here they got like a bunch of activations, like shoot a puck or spin a wheel and but there's like nothing to do.
So we were going to jump in the Bud Light Lounge,
Yeah.
or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
I think they had one person working in
One
there.
person to serve a lineup of 200 people.
We would have still been in line today had we gone in
Yes.
there. So we made the decision, and the right one, which we're going to do again today.
Yes.
Of going into the arena, 90 minutes early?
Yes.
So then what we're doing is we're just doing laps around the arena
laps.
over and over and over again. But with each passing lap, we'd find more and more Oilers fans. We'd be connecting, and then all of a sudden our group would grow.
Yeah.
And we met so many cool people from all over the place. Again, I know we talked about a little bit of this on Real Life, but I can't shake the fact that the Arizona Coyotes are going to start off next season on a 25-game road trip because they won't be ready in time or whatever. And then they can't play on weekends. But ultimately what we learned, though, that kind of environment to go see an Oilers game, we have to do it.
We got to do it.
Yeah.
We got to do it.
That's going to see, like Jay said it on Real Life, that's going to see the Oilers in Moose Jaws Arena.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. I think it'll be so cool.
Like you're just going to be on top of them. It's like watching an Oilers game at Claire Drake. Like that maybe not quite.
Not even
close.
that far off though.
Yeah, but no, you get the picture. And going to games at Claire Drake is awesome.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. We'll do that. But I'm really looking forward to tonight. Game 4. Oilers.
I think they're winning.
I think they're winning too, but I think it's going to be a tighter one.
I'm not as sold. We debated this a little bit on our walk home. And I get that over the course of a best of 7, games are going to tighten up. I just think there's a large skill gap.
I'm starting to think and subscribe to that too. Like you'd think LA is going to come out and give her and play a little bit different game or show up for this game, but it's just the horsepower of the Oilers right now. They can't compete with it, and the boys are buzzing, and the blood's in the water, man. And so if they go crazy, like they could pop off another 6, no problem.
Well, that's what we're going to see tonight. Blood's in the water. The boys have a chance to take a stranglehold on the series heading back to Edmonton for game 5 on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm listening to what you're saying, but in my heart of hearts, I think Oilers are winning this, but it's not going to be an easy one because getting absolutely shit pumped on home ice in your first playoff game, that's going to put a chip on your shoulder.
You think?
Yeah. But I just don't think it's as simple as like playing with a chip on your shoulder. Like I just don't think they're good enough.
So what do the Oilers got to do to get this done today, Tyler?
We talked about this on the Shirt for Giant pregame show. It was my Yegburger key to the game. The big guns got to roll. Connor McDavid's having a good series. He's got 2 points in every game?
Yeah.
Draisaitl's have a good series, but neither of them has had a signature moment.
They haven't popped
The McDavid
off.
goal in game 1 was sweet, but neither of them has had a game where they take over and pop off and score 3 or 4 points. Tonight, the key to victory for the Oilers, the depth has been awesome. Nuge scoring.
Beautiful.
They've scored 14 goals in the last 2 games. 6 of them don't involve McDavid or Draisaitl.
Crazy.
Evander Kane's on the heater of all heaters.
Heater of all
my
heaters.
God.
Bottom 6 is scoring. Second power play unit scoring. Throw that all up. I don't care. Tonight, it's with the big guns just going.
Going back to game 3 for a second, I gotta take a shot at myself here for what was probably the worst hat toss of all time.
So funny.
I threw it more like a spiked football than a.
It was off
hat
your
toss.
head in half a
But
second.
like you gotta.
Well, you guys saw it.
We have to do a video of it because it was the motion, right? It's like you just literally were standing there and you just threw your hand to your head and then threw your hat off your head straight down, just in one motion. Like it was like robotic. It was just like, oh my God, hat trick. Like muscle memory kicked in, just
Tyler's like, I think you threw it before the puck hit the net.
Yeah.
It was, but you know what though? That's the second time I've been able to throw a hat in an opposing barn. First time I did it was when we went down to Calgary. The result was poor in that game. So this one was an extra special hat toss because the spirits were high. The arena was essentially empty at that point. It's what we needed. And that's exactly what I'm hoping for in game 4 here. So we're going to run a little bit long here. It's just a bonus episode of Better Late Than Never. I want to give a shout out to my friends at Arcadia Brewing Co. and Rig Hand Distilleries. The BCasts haven't been happening while I've been down here. The reality is the state of me post game. There's no way I should be broadcasting.
No, it's a lie. No.
So Rig Hand Distilleries. Check them out, righanddistillery.com. Get the tour and tasting coupon. It's on the website. Go check out the facility. We did it a little
They did
before
on
a trip down to
the way to
Calgary.
Calgary. Yep.
It's great. You go see how they make the booze, get a little sample in you.
It's crazy, actually. Like they got like just the equipment and how they still and do all that stuff. Like it's super interesting, and also they make good stuff.
They make really good stuff. Go check them out in Nisku. And then Arcadia Brewing Co. They're having some game day specials. So make sure to check them out at Arcadia Brew Co. on Twitter, Arcadia Brewing Co. on Instagram. Tyler, let's wrap up this podcast with a couple of score predictions. Maybe a key to the game from everybody.
I said my key to the game is getting the big guns rolling and having McDavid and Draisaitl take this thing over. I think the Oilers end up winning this game 5-2.
Jay?
Never stop, never stopping. Keep doing what you're doing. Put your the blood's in the water. We got our foot on their throats. Like, put the pedal to the metal. Like, do not slow down. Just keep doing what we're doing. Smitty is battling, making saves when we need it, and the team is creating chances and scoring. So, like, that to me is just don't stop.
Score prediction?
Well, okay. I'm gonna go 5-2.
For me, the key to the game for me is don't feel comfortable.
No, exactly. Act like you've been there before. That's a good call.
Don't feel comfortable. Yes, you've scored 14 goals over the last 2 games, and that's been a lot of fun to watch. It's been a lot of fun to cheer for, but don't feel comfortable. Like Jay said, there's blood in the water. They are drowning. Put your foot on their head and push them under. We don't want to give anybody a life jacket here.
No.
We want to go back to Edmonton on Tuesday and wrap this baby up. 4-2 wins coming. I think it's going to be a little bit tighter. But ultimately,
so are you always 4-2? Is that just your
that's
thing?
the shtick. It's been going on for about 4 years now.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Well, here's the reason why. 4-2 is the second most likely result in NHL.
It's like rolling. It's like a 7 in craps.
Exactly. It hits something like I'm ballparking here because I don't remember exactly. It hits somewhere around 5% of the time. 3-2 is the most common, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Interesting.
So yes, 4-2 win is the shtick. GDB is up at OilersNation.com. You got plenty of time to go read that before. I'm excited to go to another game with you boys. The Ohtani boys are rolling in. Nuge Jersey undefeated. I guess last question, what are you guys doing for your Jersey game tonight? Because I know you got more than one here, both of you.
Oh, well, you always bring in one in case of emergency, but I am leaning into Letestu. He has been
Treated
so
well.
good to us. So nothing is changing. I am wearing the same pants, the same jersey, the same hat, the same shoes.
Tyler?
Yeah, I'm going with the 97 orange jersey. They won it in game 2 when I wore it. They won in game 3 when I wore it. So I got to keep it rolling.
Amen. There you go. Episode 20, the bonus episode from Los Angeles, Better Late Than Never. Again, I want to thank the audio department. I want to thank Trilogy Oilfield Rentals, Rig Hand Distillery, and Arcadia Brewing Co. for making it all possible. Download, subscribe, tell your friends, grandparents, uncles and aunties, whoever. Just yell out the street. Better Late Than Never. Subscribe. Talk to you later.
Platinum.
It's platinum, baby.